All right, welcome to the Iconic Wealth series. These are conversations on wealth, stewardship, modern money, and the women and men who move early. I'm Hannah Elsie. I'm the founder of the Iconicity Movement and the host of the Iconic Life podcast. And you guys, this space is really about expanding the conversation around wealth, leadership, freedom, and what opportunity can look like for women and men in this next era. Okay. These are the conversations that I wish I had been invited to before, that I wish more women were being invited to and or taking part in. So I created the table to have these conversations. These, really in-depth conversations around ownership and positioning and access and creating overflow and creating lives that we are wildly in love with and so deeply grateful to be here while understanding where the world is moving, right? So whether you're deeply in this world already or just curious, you're in the right place. And let's talk about it. Because you guys, I do believe deeply that iconic women and men don't just watch the future happen. We learn, we lean in, we lead, and we move with intention. Okay. So grab your coffee, your tea, your wine, your electrolytes. I got electrolytes and water today. And let's get into today's conversation. Ah, okay. Let's see. Hmm. All right, you guys. So today it's just me and you across the virtual table from me, right? So yeah, like I said, pull up your chair, grab your drink, and let's chat, right? So this this whole series that I created was to start a conversation that I wanted to have with women, like I said in the intro. I want to talk to real women like you and like me, right? Women who I know, who I'm walking in life with, right? About what is actually happening in the world of money, because things are changing so rapidly. And why does it matter? Why does it matter for me, for you, right? Why does it matter for our futures and for our families? If you've been watching this series or listening to it on the podcast, catching the replay, whatever, thank you. Genuinely. Like you showed up, you listened, you're learning, you're getting curious. You let these conversations land for you. And that matters. It matters to me more than you know, but it matters for you more than you know, maybe. Right. And also, if this is your first episode, if you're catching episode 5 as your first one, great, perfect timing. Because you being here is not a coincidence. You are here for a reason. You are hearing about this because there is something more for you and it's being offered. So if I can say anything, please listen to that calling. Okay, so let me kind of take us walk back through what we've been building across these 5 episodes together this week. Let's follow that kind of through line of the story, right? We started by asking a question most people honestly don't ever sit with and answer, right? Why? Why do so many women and men who are clearly capable of building more, of living a more limitless, more abundant life, why don't they? Why don't we? Right? Turn it on ourselves. Hold that mirror up, right? And the answer, I feel honestly, was not what a lot of people expected. Because it's not always opportunity or intelligence. And definitely it's not hard work because we can work hard, right? And it certainly is not just luck, good or bad. Okay. When when we are talking about creating financial wealth and abundance, often it's that image in our head, in our subconscious, even, right? Of what a wealthy woman or man looks like. The archetypes that we have absorbed without even maybe realizing that that's what we're doing, that somehow rich people are bad or selfish, are jerks, right? The conditioning, both conscious and subconscious, both loud and unloud and quiet, right? That told us that wanting more is somehow dangerous for us, right? We might lose someone, we might lose some, thing, right? That somehow it's greedy or selfish or incompatible with being a good woman, a good mother, a woman of faith, a human with values and good morals and ethics. And how that conditioning at our nervous system level often keeps us stuck in our safe lives, whether or not it's our iconic lives, right? We talked about stewardship and how that framework changes everything, right? We're not just building to accumulate. No, 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 no. We are building because we've been entrusted with something, right? And you and I, we intend to multiply and release it, right? To being generous. Because women with resources, we don't just change our own lives, we change the velocity, the trajectory of what is possible for everyone in our circles and our orbits. And then we talked about the financial system, the old way of doing business, the old business model, right? The $1.2 trillion extracted in fees from everyday users, you and I, every year through a model that was not designed to reward us, right? We talked about then also what is being currently built to replace that system. We talked in depth about WeFi, the world's first banking platform, built by the co-founder of Tether, the USDT, right? The man who invented the stablecoin, or helped invent, and changed the entire crypto economy, changed the world, right? On-chain technology, a new clear bridge between fiat or traditional money and cryptocurrency. And a business model that moves from extraction to rewards for the user, where we are not just a customer, we are a stakeholder, and we partake in the winnings of the company. So it's built on Web3 tenets. And we talked about my iconic 365, that the daily environment where you decide to become the woman who actually moves on opportunities like this, on your things in your life, your intentions for it, where your next level, your iconic self stops being simply a destination that you're visiting, and it starts becoming the way you live, who you are. And then yesterday, Megan and I talked about our personal journeys, what life looked like before and after, right? And where it's going, what led us here, um, some of our journey, right? And you guys, that was a powerful episode yesterday. If you haven't heard it yet, after this live today, go check it out. It's up on my page still, and then it's also on podcast replays wherever you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Apple, YouTube, all those things. So that was a series up until now, and so now here we are, episode 5. And this is the one where I ask you to decide to make a choice, right? Because you guys, we are watching one of the biggest financial shifts of our lifetimes happen in real time. And the only question has ever been, will you be watching or will you be participating? Let that land, because that's super serious, right? Remember I told you guys about Laszlo, the programmer down in Florida, Bitcoin Pizza Day, May 22nd, right, 2010. Because I think about him whenever I hear someone saying they're just going to wait for a better time, right? Or like, oh yeah, well, I'll look at it later, or just like they're so interested and then they like, goes for a couple months and then come back, because remember in 2010, Laszlo paid 10,000 Bitcoin for 2 pizzas. Because at that time, those Bitcoin were worth about $41. However, today, those 2 pizzas represent somewhere between hundreds of millions to over $1 billion, depending on the value of Bitcoin, right? For 2 Papa John's pizzas. Wow. He didn't know, right? I mean, he couldn't have known exactly. And that wasn't actually the point of that, right? He was showing the world that Bitcoin had real life utility, that there was real time value in this new digital world of currency, right? However, in hindsight, I feel like that story is like this really clear picture of what it costs to not fully understand the value of what's in your hands, the opportunity that's right in front of you, right? And for me, remember I've shared like on a personal level, I missed out on Bitcoin at 2 different opportunities. It was shown to me kind of halfway, kind of explained 2 different separate times. And I didn't take the time to really like lean in and fully understand it and educate myself. And I moved on with life to other things, right? But to the tune of millions of dollars that I lost out on because that literally that decision compounded into a beautiful education for me that I will never forget because I will not make that mistake again, right? And I don't want my circle of people to miss out either. And I always have to say here, like, hear me so clearly. I am not telling you to throw money at anything. I am not your financial advisor. This is not your financial advice. What I am telling you is this: hindsight can be a brutal teacher. And right now, in this moment, you have information. It's been given to you, right? You have access. If you are listening to this today, right now, wherever you're at, you are at a crossroads. You have a choice to make today, and whichever way you choose will have an effect in the long term for you and your family. Like, you'll either look back at this moment with a grateful heart and a big smile, or you might be the one looking at shaking your head and saying, ah, the if onlys, right? Hindsight has a way of making things crystal clear. And I want you to look back on this moment with gratitude, not regret. So let me be as clear as I ever have been about WeFi, right? You guys have heard me talking about it, I've been sharing about it. WeFi is the world's first decentralized on-chain banking platform, DO banking. It merges traditional finance and crypto under one platform: remittance, cryptocurrency, and banking in one super app. Okay. The total target market across these three industries is over 3 trillion, and it's growing 15 to 20% annually. Guys, that's massive, right? Those are the numbers that kind of make your ears start smoking. What I can also tell you publicly, is as like the WeFi token, let's see, it's increased over 800% in value in 2025 alone. It's currently ranked in the top 250 tokens out of the thousands of tokens on the market. It set a Guinness World Record for the most viewers of a blockchain live stream. The world is paying attention. We just announced a massive partnership with Visa. Reeve Collins, our founder, he just did a live interview on Wall Street just like 2 weeks ago, if you're listening to this today, right, in the end of May. You guys, we have won multiple awards. And honestly, it feels like every day a new aspect is being revealed of what this incredibly exciting opportunity is. But the financial world is beginning to get very interested in what we are building here. And the opportunity for you and I to be an early mover in this project is rapidly moving. I mean, personally, what I will say is when I looked at these numbers, when I sat down and really understood what this could mean, when I took the time to pay attention, but when I looked at this and realized what this could mean for me, for my family, for my work, my calling that I'm here to do, I moved decisively and quickly. And I've not looked back yet. I mean, I'm out here sharing about it because I see what this is. And I'm so excited about it. So, what I want you to do, if this is landing for you, is to reach out to me directly. Send me a message, drop a comment, right? Let's have a conversation, right? You cannot now say that nobody showed you the ground floor of the world's first decentralized on-chain banking platform. You have been offered an opportunity. And then, my iconic 365. Because I am sharing about these two things together for a reason. Because what I've seen to be true about women and wealth and creating our iconic lives, creating iconic wealth, right? I've watched this enough times, both personally and professionally, to say this with full confidence. You can have the right vehicle, the right information, the right opportunity sitting directly in front of you and still not move, or move and then retreat, right? Ghost, right? Because I've had a lot of people do that. Or have a transformation and then find yourself back in your old ruts in a few weeks, right? Like, take for example, choosing to start a new exercise program. We all resonate with this, right? You get the Peloton, you get the treadmill, whatever it is, the gear, the fun water bottle, the cute Lululemon outfit, and you dive into this new experience. And man, it feels so good to move your body. And after a workout, you feel so tired, but so achy, but it's a good ache, right? And you are so proud of yourself. You feel so alive and have more energy. And right? This goes on for a couple of days, maybe even a couple of weeks if you like joined a challenge or had like a definite goal in mind that you are working towards, right? But then and you and I know this to be true, 2, maybe 3 months down the road, you find yourself coming out of your bathroom and tossing your wet towel from your shower on the handle to dry and grabbing your clothes up from the pile of clean laundry piled in a basket on that treadmill. Or you see the stacks of free weights waiting for you in the corner collecting dust. Hmm. Giving you real life examples, okay? Because remember, this is not a willpower problem. And this is not a shame yourself or feel guilty problem, right? No, no, no. This is an identity issue. This is a version of you who hesitates or slips back into the old way of doing things, is operating from an older self concept, an older identity, right? The one that was shaped by the conditioning of how we were raised, by our environments, by years of being told in 1,000 subtle and non-subtle ways that this new version of you, the iconic self, the limitless side of you, that wanting more, a bigger, better version of you isn't safe, right? You guys, Iconic 365 is the daily environment that I created to interrupt that noise. It's not a course, it's not a program that you just consume and close and go on. No, no, no. You guys, this is a room you live in daily, consistently for accountability, right? Where that version of you, your iconic self, the one who makes bold decisions, who holds her standards, who moves with intention, like the woman she's becoming, where that version gets to become familiar, gets to become your normal and become safe, right? Like literally just a few minutes every day. I've got voice-led activations daily that recalibrate you back to yourself before the drift starts, before the life gets busy. You set your intention, and the environment that is created helps to hold you there. We're going to have monthly themes, like we're launching in June with Reclaimed. Oh, it's so powerful. Returning home to your voice, your standards, your truth. Okay, so good. We're going to have quarterly deep dives together. But you guys, most importantly, we are creating a private community of powerful, iconic women who are in motion and refuse to go backwards, refuse to go back to the old normal, who know they're here for more and are choosing it, who are deciding, right? Who are cutting away all other options. So we begin June 1st. Get in now. This is the lowest price it's ever going to be, you guys. And it goes up the day we begin. So June 1st, it goes up. So sign up today. Don't miss out. And invite the women in your circle who you would want to link arms with and do 365 days of focused, intentional growth and life with. So if Iconic 365 is for you, sign up. I'll drop the link in the comments under this here today. It's also going to be in the show notes if you're listening to the podcast, or it's going to be links in my bios, whatever. Reach out, reach out. There's so many ways to sign up, but sign up today. This is a movement that is built on community, right? This is a room, a table, a virtual table that I'm building with intention, and I want to celebrate you and welcome you in. Iconic 365 is not simply about motivation or inspiration. It's about calibration daily, remembering and claiming who we have been created to be so that you never stop becoming that iconic version of you, living that limitless life. Okay. So before I close out, and actually, before I forget, let me drop that in the comments so you guys will have that. So you can sign up. Sign up today. Come and join. All right. All right. But as we are closing out this series, this powerful series of conversations that we've had throughout this week, I want to say again, the thing that is bigger, the bigger picture, right? And the part that drives me and gets me so excited, so passionate about sharing these opportunities that I'm working in. Remember, we talked about this in the first episode, right? The data, like by 2045, women are projected to control over 105 trillion globally. Oh, remember again, that's the numbers that makes my head like spark. Trillion. And it's not going to be because someone just handed the money to them. Okay. You guys, it is going to be the women who are building, moving, deciding, and multiplying, right? And the ripple effect of that is going to be unlike anything we have ever seen. And what you and I have now to decide, and I have decided, but what you have now to decide is, are you going to be one of those women who are part of creating that change? Research consistently shows that when women control wealth, more of that wealth moves back into their families, back into their communities, back into the causes that change lives. An abundantly resourced woman doesn't just change her own life. She changes what is possible for everyone in her orbit. Whew, gives me chills. That is what I am building towards. Not just my own portfolio, not just my own freedom, though, yes, both of those things, absolutely. Cannot wait. Makes me so excited. But the movement, the community, the table full of women and men who have decided to go first, to build intentionally, to steward what they've been given and share it generously. That is what the iconicity movement and the community is all about. That is what Iconic 365 is. And you guys, that is what WeFi at its best is a beautiful vehicle for. We are not just creating wealth. We are creating iconic, generational change and impact for good. And we are doing it together. Mm. Yeah. Okay. So here's where I land. Because after these 5 powerful episodes together, all of these conversations, so rich and so full, and everything we've walked through together, I know from experience that there are 2 types of people watching this right now or listening to this right now. The ones who are going to move, who decide and move, and the ones who are going to wait until a better time, but are going to wait until that window closes, until that wave passes you by. The ones who are going to hold on to that bag of apples instead of sharing them with that trusted friend, right? And then are going to wonder what would have happened if only they had. So for me, though, today, I am talking to the ones who move, the ones who decide. Okay. So much love to both types of people, but I am speaking to the ones who are moving and deciding. If something is resonating for you here within these conversations, decide and move. DM me, drop a comment, reach out, however feels natural, whatever, right? And I'll get back to you. If Iconic 365 is calling you, click on the link in the comments and get yourself inside. June 1st is almost here. June 1st is the deadline for that early bird pricing, and I want you inside before that door closes, you guys. You can still join us if you're hearing this after June 1st, okay? Or if you decide to wait until then, but the prices will have increased. That's all, right? It's still going to be an amazing, there's 365 days of this work together, right? It's still going to be amazing. You will just have paid more. That's your choice, love. It's okay. I'm here for you. But stay close, right? Stay close. Keep watching. Keep leaning in. These conversations aren't going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere, right? When you're ready, reach out and I'm going to be here. And you guys, thank you. Thank you for being here, for showing up for this series, for taking your financial future, your iconic life seriously enough to spend your time in these conversations, to lean in, to learn. This is just the beginning of what we are building. And I'm so glad you are in there with me. Let's go build our iconic lives. I'll see you inside. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you again for being part of today's conversation. My hope has been with the Iconic Wealth series, both the first volume and the second volume here is simple. It's that more women and men feel informed, feel empowered, expanded, and invited into these conversations around wealth, around opportunity, around stewardship, and the future that we're helping shape together. Because wealth in the hands of good women and men create ripple effects far beyond what we can see. So powerful. So you guys, if today's conversation sparked something for you, stay close, lean in, share this episode, send it to a friend, please, right? Like help leave us a review on our podcast and things. It really helps to kind of boost it with the algorithm. You guys know this. But come join us inside these conversations, right? Because I believe these conversations matter. Because when women and men understand wealth systems, opportunities, and stewardship from a different perspective, you guys, families change, lives change, communities change, entire futures change. The world changes. So stay curious, stay discerning, and stay open to what is possible. And until next time, keep paying attention, keep expanding, and keep moving like the iconic women and men that you already are. I'll see you in the next conversation.